Hey folks, Lionel here with Cowboy Boots, Hats, and Western Life Enthusiasts. Over here, I got the Nocona's MD4700, and today I want to tell you why these are my favorite riding boots. Well, let's get into it. Alright, so these will not be so much of a review video for this particular boots as much as showing you why these are my favorite riding boots and what I kind of look for in a riding boot. So let's start with the sole. So the soles are leather soles, very traditionally made. You got the 2 rows of brass nails right here. You have a rubber heel cap and a stacked leather heel. Now this is a regular cowboy heel. It's not a roper heel like you would have some of these new square toes, these new riding boots. It's got a nice 1 3/4 inch heel, and what I like about it is that it's got this spur shelf right here, and it's nice and rigid. I've had spurs on there multiple times, ridden with it, and it held up really nice. Still can't even tell. Now another great thing that they did on this is that well, it's got this double stitch welt, but the double stitch welt is not so pronounced. It's not so wide and kind of coming out too far, and square toe, the way they made it, it's very profiled. As you guys could see, it's not too low or too high. It's just perfectly done, I think. Very nice and traditionally made boot. As you guys could see, I do work with these, so I do have some cuts and stuff. I've ridden it. You could see like the stirrup mark right here. Now these boots will get scratched up and will get a little patina on them, but to me that's what I like about them. They're not the dress-up boot, you know, they're not your fancy boots. They're more of like your working boot. Now what I like about this is it has this very rigid counter right here, and this counter is actually bullhide, and they did that on purpose. So I've had stirrups on here and this has never gotten scratched up or anything like that, or if it has, you can't tell because they made this the counterpart bullhide, and the front is going to be cowhide, and they made it very nice and rigid, and they put this this protection right here on the spur shelf, so that way it doesn't get all banged up. Now this shaft, it's not too tall, but it's not too short either. It's an 11.5 inch shaft, which is perfect, I think, especially when you got a riding a boot like this. The great thing about it is this is wide enough open that if you need to stuff your jeans inside because you're mucking a stall or riding through brush or whatever, you could put your jeans inside, and you know, it'll protect it fairly good. But also, if you put a little bit more of a nice tapered jean, it'll close up very nicely and look very sharp. It won't bulge out of your jeans, which is a great thing, because some of these boots, they're just either too wide and they protrude, or they're too thin, and you know, it's kind of hard to put your jeans inside. Now typically, if I ever feel the need that I'm gonna be riding in brush or anything, I'd rather use chaps, but I barely use chaps because I live in Florida, so I never have that problem. So the only time I stuff my jeans is when I'm, you know, mucking a stall or, you know, gonna get some dirty. And but realistically, I'd rather have my jeans just over the shaft, and that's perfectly fine for me. But you know, again, you can't put too tight of a jean, but you know, you could put something that's a little less bulky and not have it protrude, and it profile real nice. Another great thing I like is the pull holes, which is a something that is used a lot in riding boots. I don't know, I just kind of like it. I think they work very well. They don't rip up like some of these pull tabs do. But again, both of them works fine as long as it's a good quality. Now, the inside, it has a seam. It has a seam on the inside, and it's barely noticeable. I mean, you know, once you have the boot on, you can't even feel it. Now, the inside is lined with pigskin. You could tell because it has these little little holes right here. It doesn't have that same grain that a cowhide does, so I know it's pigskin, which to me works just fine. Also, it's fully leather lined, and the insole is actually just a hard piece of leather, and it's, like I said, it's very traditionally made, and that's something I really do like about it. Another great thing about these boots is that they're handmade in the USA. Well, I want to try these on for you. Alright, so here we go. I got the Nocona MD4700 here. I'm going to show you what they look like without the spurs on. Really a nice fitting boot. I did have to break him in a little bit. It did take a little bit of time to break him in, but once they broke in, they felt just really nice and comfortable. Here we go. Here I got them on with my one of my favorite pairs of Wrangler jeans. So here they are. Front profile. Side. And back. These jeans do stack a little bit, but they are really nice. Alright, so here's another take of the boots with the spurs on. Side profile. Back. See, they do counter nice. They hang in there perfectly. They don't protrude any at all. Looks perfect and feels great with the spurs on. Very natural feel for the spurs. Alright, let's get back on top. So here's my conclusion on these Nocona's MD4700 and why these are my favorite riding boots. Now, I don't always wear spurs when I ride. It really depends on the horse that I'm riding at the moment. If I'm riding a horse that's a little less sensitive, or a horse that's been trained on being ridden with spurs, that's when I'll wear them. So, and again, you don't need spur shelves to ride with spurs. They'll hook on regardless, but it's a nice feature to have just to feel a little bit more rigidity in it. Now, for when I am riding with my spurs, and here they are if you guys want to see them up close. I've had these for many years. They're good, simple. They're a good tool. That's what they are. They're a tool, and they just work well, and that's all I need them to do. I don't need anything more fancy than that. I did have the strap replaced because the old one was cracking and was becoming bad, so I had these tooled ones, and they're really nice. That's I do like those. But as far as that goes, I did make a review on the Tecovas Prescott Sandshark, which is considered to be a riding boot, and it also has a spur shelf, but it had a weak counter. You know, it's not well thought out like this bull hide. You know, plus the it did have the shark skin, which was tough, but the piece of leather that they had in there, or whatever they had in there, wasn't as tough as this. And also their spur shelf was extremely weak, to the point where right out of the box they were already kind of crinkling up. They didn't have a protective layer like these do. I've had spurs on these. I didn't have spurs on my Tecovas Prescott, and they were I just couldn't imagine putting spurs on those Prescotts. It would end up ruining the actual spur shelf to the point where they would probably look horrible. At that point, like I said, it's better not to put a spur shelf than to put something that is going to get so messed up just for the sake of the sale. Now, again, as far as these, I like the heel, the fact that they're a little taller. I do ride Western style, so basically I have my stirrups low, and these kind of hook on nice as I pull my foot up usually when I'm riding, and they give me a nice place to kind of lock in the stirrup. So that's also another great feature. Nice profiled. When I could slip my foot into the stirrup really nice, even though they're a nice wide square toe and you do feel comfortable all day. They look really great when your jeans are over them, or when you have to put your jeans in them. There's no problem with that. It's got plenty of space for that, and they do fold in nice. Also, they're made in the USA. The pigskin feels extremely good, and also I love the traditional feel. So to me, that is exactly what I look for in a riding boot. Alright folks, well, let me know in the comment section below if y'all agree with me that these have the making for the perfect riding boot, or if you guys would change something to meet your personal style or riding style. There's no wrong answers, it's all personal preference. Also, if you guys just like these boots because they look good and you guys don't particularly ride, also drop a comment in the section below and let me know about it. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much. If you guys like this video, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more things coming up, and I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of Cowboy Boots, Hats, and Western Life Enthusiasts. That is all I have for you guys today. Have a good one.